The lake was just outside town. The locals never spoke about it aloud. The Black Lake, they called it, because at night the water was dark as ink. But it wasn't just the darkness. People said the lake had no measurable depth, and anyone who entered never came back. Daniel, Emma, Michael, and Sophia had just moved to town. Bored with the small-town life, they wanted an adventure. When they heard the stories, they laughed. They did not know the truth. In the 1800s, there was a woman named Lillian Holloway. She lived in a cabin near the lake. The town whispered that she was a witch who performed dark rituals. One night, a young man named William Carter fell in love with her, but he vanished. The town accused Lillian, and without a trial, they tied her up and drowned her in the lake. As she sank, she cursed the town. "All who bear the blood of my killers will vanish into the lake. My soul will never rest." Since that day, every 20 years, young people disappeared. That night, the four friends set up camp. Midnight came. The lake was silent. Unnaturally silent. Michael threw a rock into the water. No sound. Emma whispered, "That's not normal." Then, a ripple. Then, a shadow rising from the water. Sophia gasped, "It's just an animal, right?" But then, a black, rotten hand rose from the water. They screamed. A decayed woman emerged. Water dripped from her hollow eye sockets. It was Lillian. "You called me," she whispered. And then, the voices echoed back in their own voices. "You do not belong here." They tried to run, but their bodies wouldn't move. More hands rose from the water. Sophia screamed, but the lake swallowed the sound. Then, everything went black. The next morning, the police found the camp. But there were no signs of the four friends. The lake was black and silent. That night, an old woman screamed in the town, "The curse is real. They are gone." And from that day on, the lake never stopped whispering. The police never found the missing teenagers. The town tried to forget, but the lake never did. 10 years later, a new family moved into town. Oliver and his parents loved the quiet atmosphere. But the townspeople were strange. They never spoke about the lake. Oliver was 17. His father warned him never to go near the water, but curiosity was stronger. One night he convinced his best friend James to walk with him to the lake. The water was pitch black, even under the moonlight. James whispered, "This place is wrong. Look, the water isn't moving at all." Oliver shrugged. "The stories are just nonsense, but maybe something did happen here." Just then, the water trembled. Their eyes widened. The lake was reacting. Then, a scream. But it wasn't just any scream. It was Oliver's own voice. James turned to Oliver in panic, but Oliver was frozen. His eyes were locked on the lake. "You do not belong here." A rotting hand reached from behind him. For a split second, a woman with white, empty eyes reflected in the water. Lillian Holloway. And that night, Oliver was never seen again. The townspeople knew the truth, but they never spoke of it, because the curse wasn't over, and Black Lake was still calling for more victims.